Welcome back to AgriTalk as we broadcast from Boone, Iowa. Day number 2 of the Farm Progress Show. The skies are clearing somewhat. They have finally opened the gates. People are coming onto the grounds after our 4-inch rain last night. And really, as you heard Matt Youngman say, the show site, the exhibit field itself, really not bad at all. You can get around very, very well. Not like the old days when we were slipping and sliding in mud on a day like this. We have the paved roads, the graveled roads, and it's really not hard to get around. But no field demonstrations, obviously, after all that rain last night. All right, we are broadcasting from the Syngenta booth, and very happy to have with us Terry Stone, Sustainability Value Chain Manager. And Terry, let's talk a little bit about sustainability because, you know, a lot of people talk about sustainability, but they have different definitions for sustainability. What is the Syngenta definition?
Yeah, it's interesting. Sustainability is hard to define. There's a kind of a formal definition which was developed by the United Nations, meaning meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. And that can be a little complex or a mouthful to handle. Syngenta's version is very simple. It's really growing more from less. So using technology, using whatever to be able to maximize the energy, the water, the soil that's planting is occurring to be able to produce as much as possible.
Which is really the challenge we face in agriculture today. I mean, we're trying to produce more all the time on the same or fewer acres and still be able to, maintain the environment and the soil and the water.
Yeah, it's very true. I mean, the statistics are that by 2050 we're going to have over 9 billion people in the world. So that's an increase of about 2.5 billion. But because their style of living or quality of life has begun to improve, especially in developing countries, they want more of a meat-based diet, which means that you're going to need to produce more grain. And the belief is that we're going to need twice as much production to be able to feed those people.
Okay, so we've defined sustainability. How do we achieve it?
Well, by growing more from less. And by that I'm really referring to there are many tools that we have available to us to be able to farm. And the important thing is really deciding what are the outcomes, what are we trying to achieve. If it is to feed that number of people, if it is to do so with the natural resources that we have, and frankly on even less land than what we have today, then we need every tool we have available. Syngenta's role is really in developing those tools and technologies to enable growers to be able to produce more from less. A good example is Viptera, where subthreshold insect control, as an example, almost by definition means that growers probably aren't paying to control those pests. But with Viptera, you have a trait in the plant. They are able to control a whole series of pests that they normally wouldn't. And as a result, you can get a significant yield boost by controlling those insects.
So some of this sustainability is how do you measure it? How do you keep track of it? That's kind of a part of the new management for the management model now for growers.
Oh, absolutely. There's a saying, if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. So what we're really trying to encourage is for growers to understand just where they're at in terms of how much land it takes to produce a bushel of corn, rather than how many bushels per acre, how many acres per bushel, how much soil might be lost per bushel, how much water or how much energy per bushel is being used. When you look at it in that way, then you can kind of get an idea of where you might want to focus your attention to be able to improve upon that footprint.
So it's a little different mindset as far as measurability than we've looked at in the past for agriculture.
Yeah, it really is. And what's really interesting is that there are a lot of companies, food companies, major retailers that are looking to reduce their overall footprint. And when they look at agriculture, or they look at a food product, there's only so much they can do in manufacturing. So then they find that a large percentage of the overall product footprint is on the farm. So there's a great opportunity for farmers to be able, with all of the work they've done certainly to date to enhance the environmental footprint of agriculture, to continue to be able to do that and deliver a product that could be very desirable by those downstream.
That's really a message that needs to get out, that agriculture is taking this approach towards sustainability.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we see Syngenta's role as being able to encourage growers to measure their footprint, to be able to help them identify ways to continue to improve upon that, and by working or interacting in groups that are beginning to define what sustainable agriculture is, and making sure that the focus is on outcomes, on achieving goals, and not prescriptive practices that growers must follow.
All right, thanks a lot. Good to see you. Thanks for being with us.
Mike, thank you very much.
All right, Terry Stone, Sustainability Value Chain Manager, interesting in defining sustainability and the approach towards getting to sustainability and how you measure it. Certainly kind of a different approach that we're seeing now in agriculture today. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back with more from here at the Syngenta booth at the Farm Progress Show, day number 2 in Boone, Iowa. Stay with us. This is AgriTalk.